So what I got from asking the oracle is at the top of the list is in terms of what's emerging through this next iteration of Now What, is love and belonging at the top of the list. And then at the bottom of the list is vulnerable intimacy. And then in the middle is creative collaboration, joy, sharing gifts, transformation, and sound art, which for me has something to do with language and the importance of words that we often don't attend to. Um, and I think there's this concept, right? Necessary and sufficient conditions for something to happen. I'm thinking my experience as of today is that for me personally, vulnerable intimacy is a necessary and sufficient condition for the experience of love and belonging. So that's what I got from the oracle.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting that you were talking about language and words and something special there. I'm curious if there's more you want to say about that.
Well, words and language are sound. And different cultures have different words for different things. And some cultures have words that our culture doesn't have and vice versa. So the whole concept of language as the expression of sound, the communication of something through sound is what language is and what words are. And we have so many languages on the planet that reflect the direct experience of the cultures in which they have, from which they've emerged, that I've never thought of sound like this before. So I'm just kind of going, oh, right, sound. Because at least here, my experience in America right now is that people are completely unconscious around the words that they use.
Yeah.
They pay no attention to the impact of their words. They just like vomit stuff out.
You're laughing, Michael.
Yeah, I can literally see people vomiting words out.
Yeah. Yeah, the different, this tendency to just want to, I don't know, express anger and frustration seems to be it. And, you know, don't you see, don't you get it? You misinformed, dangerous person, you. There's just a lot of that out there, you know, and it's going in all directions. You know, you shared something last night when we consulted the oracle about, what was last night for me, about disagreement, the value of disagreement. That's one of the things we listened to the song "No Agreement." That was one of our cues.
Yeah, I jumped onto the stove after that and listened for 3 hours, and we had a very long conversation about everything: sociopathy, disagreement, archetypes of tricksters, and stuff like that. And what is it that but the core message was that of course we can disagree, but we have to do it friendly. And if someone gets mad, we won't have a discussion with them. And we're so fed up with that debate is the current form of conversation where we solve things, because debate has never solved anything. So we have to go beyond that to actually start. If we're gonna disagree, we have to start at least have a conversation where we can listen to each other and try to understand how we can find common ground.
Yeah, and there was something, I'm trying to find the chat because you shared this quote. I'll find it.
I shared a quote yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I can probably remember. Yeah.
Oh, and it's this in this stupid thing that the chat, when you save the chat in Zoom, the little file, it shows up and it's terrible.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah, it's from the description of the event last.
Right. While disagreement is often treated as a problem, Justin Weinberg thinks there are some overlooked upsides to it. He'll talk about the value of disagreement, obstacles to disagreeing well, and how we might better get along with those with whom we disagree. I love that. So we got to when we consulted the Oracle, for anybody who's watching this now, we randomly chose 3 different people on the Now What network map and got inspiration from their words. And one of them was Claire Hedin, who's been a powerful contributor to Now What since the beginning in March of 2019. And she had this very interesting sort of juxtaposition that I was thinking of, Heather, when you brought up words. Under the gifts she's bringing, she said, sound for healing and going deeper, as well as for clearing the field and creating coherence without words.
Mhm.
Then the next gift she offers is hosting conversations. So it seems like to me there's some kind of a polarity there of the power of not using words or not being attached to them in the normal way that we are when we're unconscious, when we're just vomiting them.
What's coming up for me right now, just this week, I think, I read a Facebook post on silence and the value of silence as a conflict resolution practice. I will try to find it. It particularly resonates with me because I was raised in the tradition of silent meeting for worship in the original Quaker tradition. So this notion of sitting together in silence and allowing guidance from the invisible realms to come through is it's just, I grew up in that. So I've seen it work on Sunday mornings, week after week, month after month, year after year around problem solving, especially in the business meeting for worship, where it starts with silence. So, the value of words and the value of silence, there's something about silence that allows other stuff either to come through from the invisible realms or to give us access to some deeper, something deeper going on inside of ourselves that needs a little silence in order to be revealed. And people get squirmy in silence, myself included, in certain contexts.
That's why we need silentists.
Oh.
Silentists, of course.
Again, I'm going to write that down. I think now I know who I am. Thank you.
So another person that we whose profile we looked at is Shaktari Balu. And I was really struck by her. I mean, you talked about, creative collaboration, right? And here she is in all caps with that in the middle of her talking about gifts. So that really struck me. I was talking just earlier today with Carrie So about some of the creative collaboration we did the last time in Now What, and got all excited about doing some more of that. We kind of invented a process that didn't have a name at the time. It didn't even occur to me that it was a process that would be replicated. But now all of a sudden I'm saying, yes, it is. The Co-Creation Cafe. that's sort of using a World Cafe like thing to do collaborative, creative art together. Basically by doing a Zoom recording, you know, on a Zoom call anyway. That's how we did it. So we're plotting that already. But I really, you know, I was happy to hear you pick up on that, Heather, and you're tuning in. And the other thing I was really struck by with Shakhtari, you know, is her saying, you know, she's been working on these issues of transformation and how do we create a, you know, a fully human presence on the planet her whole life. But she's had some challenges recently, including losing a lot of stuff in a bad fire in Oregon, not her home, but I guess her stuff was in storage. So she says she's been out of touch in recent years, also some medical issues. So she's here to learn and update herself on all that has emerged recently and add to my knowledge and experience whenever asked with joy. So I think there's something in the, you know, I think about the gift economy and what we can activate, you know, helping people to find out about stuff that's going on is sort of what I'm hearing, the simple version of there. But particular stuff that really is, you know, what they're looking for and what would light them up. And I think that may be something that wants to emerge, and maybe creative ways to do that in collaboratively. Maybe that's, you know, creative and collaborative ways to energize the gift economy element. I would like to see that emerging.
Well, and what has always emerged for me in all the iterations of Now What is just joy. That all of whatever this is, joy emerges from it for me. And it feels like joy emerges for others as well, because there's so many smiling, sparkly faces that we get to share time with.
Speaking of which, Michael, you want to join me in a little song here on Heather's behalf?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday,
dear
Heather.
Happy
birthday
to
to you.
No, I thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. So this gets to the vulnerable intimacy part. 10 years ago, this time frame, I had just come out of a coma from having emergency open heart surgery, and this time frame has come and gone for the last 10 years, and I have, you know, not attended to it as an anniversary of something, but this 10th anniversary really got my attention in kind of an unpleasant way. And so I transformed the unpleasantness into you know, now I'm 10 years old. You know, something happened on October 6th, 2010, and I came home from the hospital on my birthday in 2010. And so I'm either 71 years old today or I'm 10 years old today. I'm not quite sure which. So thank you for celebrating this day with me.
Yeah. And I have to run off because I'm gonna cook and eat before my next meeting starts in 20 minutes. So.
Yeah,
Good to see you,
food
Michael.
waiting for
So
me
good.
downstairs too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So great seeing you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Ben.
Bye.
You.
Bye.